Welcome back to Rebuilding Astroworld. This is Swag, and today we are going to build the go-karts. So this area is specifically go-karts in the latter part of the park's existence. They had go-karts here, which replaced the extension of the taxi car rides. So the taxi car used to start over here, wrap around, go around here, and I'm sure the lack of popularity for the car ride and the park wanting to update itself led to them adding these go-karts. I know in some parks, like Six Flags back in the day, they used to be like an upcharge attraction. You couldn't just get in line and do go-karts, you'd have to pay for them, but who knows? I've only seen a few videos of people in the go-karts in the park. It's sort of an odd shape, but we're going to use the large track pieces to make it look a little bit cooler, because I know go-karts are really kind of tight turns only and up and down and kind of weird in Roller Coaster Tycoon, but that is the idea of today. We just want to build the shape that we want the go-karts to be in and maybe build some walls, put down some tarmac, and see how it goes. So follow along with me as we build the go-karts. I'm going to be building the go-karts next in my Astroworld park. So I wanted to take a look at one of the previous go-kart tracks that I've built. This is called Speedway 500. It's part of the Wings and Things Fun Fair park I built a couple years back. And one thing I wanted to look at was how I did these turns, because when you make a double wide go-kart track, you have to use non-go-kart pieces. So right now it's in go-kart mode, but if I change it to like looping roller coaster, you can see the track. You've got your large turns, and then in some spots I still use like the tight turns, so like this little corner down here, guess you say this corner right here, it's a tight turn. But overall, it's usually large or small turns. And then for the border, I'm using very large turns to make it look smooth. So I think I'm going to use the same strategy in the new go-kart track I'm building. The new one's actually a bigger track. It's a lot larger. So I think in order to get away with doing most of this very similarly, I'm going to have to use the same idea of the large turns instead of the ultra-wide turns, because the ultra-wide turns are going to make these overall turns not look as clean. They're going to look a little flat. So I guess that's what we're going to do. You have to build it in a different mode, and then you make sure you change it back to go-kart mode, because they will not start the race unless they get back into go-kart mode. So, okay, I'm going to use this inspiration and try to build a new version of this, or a new go-kart track in Astroworld. I ran into an issue that I had not thought of in a while, because I haven't built these in a while. But when you open up go-karts, you can't test them. Everybody knows that. So you got to change it to a different ride type, and it'll go. You can close it and then test it. Boom, they all drive around. Whatever. Okay. They're driving around. Then I remembered they don't have large turns turned on. So anytime it hits one of these large turn pieces, it just teleports. So this track's not going to work. I just spent 30 minutes, 40 minutes doing all of this for this not to work. You can only use S-bends. You can use large turns, small turns, and straight pieces. And actually small turn, like smaller turns, tiny turns. So I'm going to have to redo this, and that hurts. That hurts my feelings, because now I'm going to have to spend more time redesigning this. But hey, somebody will eventually make sprites for these cars to do that stuff. So, you know, maybe one day we'll see something nicer. For now, back to the building. Okay, so this is a go-kart course that has go-karts that are no longer clipping around invisibility. So the next step, which you already saw me do in the previous time lapse, is to make sort of a berm, or the blockers, or the railings, or the tires, whatever you want to call it. I got to make those borders so that we have a track that is going to have pavement, and then, foliage stuff and all that other stuff around it. I've seen a lot of people use vehicles and stuff like that as the borders to these areas. I think maybe here and there it might be cool to add some of those white and red stripes. But for now, in the rough draft version, we're just going to make track wall pieces, and that's going to be good enough for now. Right now, we have track walls, and I laid down some black tarmac to simulate the pavement. I do think switching the pavement to a darker color is really good at differentiating it from the pathway. I know in real life it's probably the same color as the pathway, but for now, which you're going to hear me say a lot, I think this is what we're going with. So we've just got our basic design. I do not want to make details or finalize it until way later on, once we have the whole area sort of mapped out. It's the same deal with this car ride over here. I know I've made a lot of changes to just this car ride based off of some of these elevation changes and such. I actually really do enjoy the look of these shapes, but I feel like without more context to the area, they do feel weird. It's like, why are there these random circular shapes around here? There's not really a reason why we have them there specifically. So we'll just have to keep playing it by ear, keep on making improvements. Honestly, coming back to an area and taking part in that area specifically is going to be fun to sort of like redo and reshape, and that's sort of the whole journey. So thanks for watching episode 15 of Rebuilding Astroworld. It's crazy we've made it this far, and if you have any tips or comments, please leave them down below, and I'll see you in the next episode of Rebuilding Astroworld. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.